ExtraMile Arena, Monday night. Boise State, game number 2. Weber State, game number 3. Starting lineups. On the side of the Broncos, same starting lineup as game 1, with Natalie Pasco inserted into the starting lineup. Danny Bays off the bench as the Broncos return all 5 starters from a season ago. Tip-off controlled by Boise State. Mary Kay Narrow, the opening possession for the Broncos here in game number 2. Early season, Shay, just what are some of the things that teams are looking to establish in these early non-conference games?
They're looking to establish that team play, trying to play together.
Take a look at the lineups for Weber State. We highlighted Darren Hickok at the top of the broadcast, joined at the big spot with Sierra Davis. This is Hickok from the elbow, takes to Jay, too strong, and Muse chases the rebound.
It's a good-looking shot.
Elodie Lalott running the floor, one of the post players in the Bronco 2-post offense. The other post gets the offensive rebound in Muse. Sophomore Maya Hansen. Coach Presnell said she's the go-to player for Boise State, at least so far early in the season, as Muse misses off the front of the rim.
She's got to go towards the basket, not away from it. That was a good shot, though.
So Boise State beginning the game in a man-to-man defense. Hickok, the dribble drive down the right side of the lane, is knocked away. So Weber State, they come in 0-2. Season opening loss on the road at Utah Valley. Another look at the drive.
Nice hands by MK.
And then followed that up, same area against BYU, and suffered a tough loss, but Jaden Matthews, a standout so far in the early season for Weber State, averaging 11.5 points per game, gets the scoring started. Lalott, baseline right side, loses it off her hand and out of bounds.
Weber State's doing a high hedge, so they have an opportunity to go back to the wing and get it inside immediately to Elodie.
So a couple of turnovers in the opening 90 seconds for Boise State. A big win for the Broncos against the College of Idaho in the season opener. Parra misses the elbow J. Here comes Boise State. Narrows, the player who pushes tempo for the Broncos. Muse seals, catches, spins, and it's knocked away. Weber State thought it might have been off the body of Muse. But our officiating crew, Lisa Jones, Michelle Murray, and Julie Croman-Hoke, say the ball stays here. Dribble handoff off the inbounds, and that's Hansen. Put up 9 points per game last year, including that 31-point showcase at home against BYU last year. Tied at 2 in the early going. Davis turns down to 3. Lassane penetrates, dishes. Davis takes, wide left, Muse skies. Narrow poke from behind, but right place, right time for Lalott. Off the dribble handoff, Pasco from the elbow left side. So we've seen that dribble handoff a couple of times for Coach Presnell in the offense. One time resulted in a bucket, that time a miss. Face up J for Davis, no, and that's Hansen.
Nice pushing. They're looking to push the ball, which is good. It's part of their new offense.
Lalott takes the free throw line, Jay, and looks sharp. Lalott perhaps extending her range a bit. She's been a player who's usually typically in the restricted area for her buckets. That time extending it to the free throw line.
Yeah, making her tougher to guard.
That's one of the things about this starting lineup, part of the core group, the core 3, if you will, with Narrow, Lalott, and Muse, the 3 Bronco experience players. Transition foul is Pasco hits the deck. We have Narrow, Lalott, and Muse. Lalott and Muse underneath, 2 players who haven't proven the ability to stretch beyond 15 feet.
Right.
So it's the interesting part of how do you stretch the floor while also playing your best 5.
Right. I think that comes off of the bench. I think one person that can stretch the floor is going to be Christensen. But being a post on the floor right now, they got to look to extend it out as far as they can so they can help their counterpart on the inside.
Speaking of the inside, there is the high-low game. Lalott sets up Muse.
exactly like that.
And
She made the last one, so they had to guard her.
of course, that was the position, Shay, that you played as a Bronco, that high post, trail post spot.
Yes, mostly a second point guard, or at least that's how I like to look at it.
Playmaker, could do it all. That jumper by Hickok was way off, but a foul underneath. You can see Lalott not happy. Picking up her first. Boise State makes a couple of substitutions. Danny Bays and Alyssa Christensen come on. Bays defending, a drive by Hickok, knocks it away. Boise State forces a turnover. Narrow crossover, cross-court pass. Bays, sharpshooter, lines it up, misses short. Great rebound by Christensen. What a perfect 4 for 4 in the opener against the College of Idaho off the bench. Bays again, lasers a three,
Ooh.
halfway down. Muse for the third chance on this possession.
Got to stay on that offensive boards. It's given us all these second chance opportunities.
Narrow wants three.
There
Give
we
her
go.
three. Third time's a charm for Boise State on that end. Mary Kay Narrow caps off a 9-0 run. Weber State scored the game's first two. Boise State 9 since. Hanson a little too handsy, picks up the personal.
She just fell a little bit behind and tried to slow her down with her hands, which you can't do. Yep.
It's great to see Narrow step into a three on the other end. She's been below 30% from distance as a Bronco, including 28% last year, but that time stepped into it confidently, and it was nothing but nylon.
It was going in as soon as she touched the ball.
Boise State sticking with the man-to-man defense. Laura Taylor, who's in for Weber State, off the bench. Shot clock down to 5. Barra has to hurry. Off the screen. Launches the high riser off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound for Hickok. She does that.
We got to box out. As soon as that shot goes up, no matter where you are on the floor, you got to box out. Someone's coming to get the ball.
Well, Hickok takes the extra step, could not keep the pivot. So it's a Weber State turnover. But Mary Kay Narrow trying to extend her range this year, and the Broncos lead. Hot start for Boise State, getting it going on offense. Starting with Elodie Lalott from the elbow, something that she wasn't doing in years past. Abby Muse really used to doing that, working underneath. And then the three ball by Mary Kay Narrow, usually a playmaker, that time a play finisher. Part of the Boise State 9-0 run, midway through the first, leading 9-2. Boise State possession out of the timeout. The transfer from the College of Southern Idaho. Really the only newcomer for Boise State is Alyssa Christensen. In the interior, Muse, her second bucket inside the paint.
Nice, strong, going towards the basket. Love it. Love to see it.
Now, Shay, I always say in the paint, it's like instincts.
Yep.
When you played, the court had the paint in the key.
Yeah.
Now, the last couple of years, there's a whistle and a foul called against Boise State defensively. They've removed the paint, and it's just a clean wood look.
It does look cleaner, but I still refer to it as the paint. So I think your terminology is 100% still correct.
How about the aesthetics? You like the throwback look of the paint, or now the new age look of the clean?
I think it depends on the court.
Oh,
I
okay.
like our clean court. I think it looks real clean, but some of them could use some color.
Narrow taps it. Para keeps it. Boise State aggressive into the passing lanes. In fact, the DHO just ripped away by Bays. A step in front of Tatum Thompson, who came in out of the stoppage for Boise State. So one turnover results in another.
Right idea, just a little too strong on the pass. You just needed a little bit more touch to it.
So Weber State really weren't in the game against BYU, and great team. It was 77-49 the final there. Para's drive hits the rim twice. Loose ball foul on the rebound. Kendra Para is called for her second. You can see the contact there.
It seemed like a little bit of a frustration foul after not making that basket.
It's a tough frustration foul. It is her second. She heads to the bench. Bays has missed a couple of threes so far. This time goes inside with a teardrop.
Nice. She had Alyssa on the pop, but that drive was also there, so I'll take the drive.
How about that from the sophomore from Australia? Her and Hansen, who were the freshmen last year, could provide that scoring punch. Now in her second year, Amelia Veta on the inside. (13-4), Boise State playing the front-running role. Fell behind 2-0, responded with the next 9. Danny Bays is fouled.
No one was where they were supposed to be on the Broncos' offense. Alyssa should have went and set a screen, but instead she just kind of flowed over, so the whole left side of the court was overloaded. So there wasn't really a whole lot to do.
So when Bays sees that, hey, the court's in balance, I just have a one-on-one matchup as Coach Fresno looks on. Just try to take it yourself and create some offense, and she did just that, drew the foul.
Yep.
An early 3 for Bays. Bays had 10 points in the opener against the College of Idaho. Boise State in that game held C of I to just 35 points. Just 19% shooting. That was the 5th lowest opponent field goal percentage in program history.
Wow.
Historic defensive effort. Corner 3, Eskelson off the mark. Battle for the rebound. Christensen swinging. She rips it away from Taylor. Here comes Boise State in transition. Thompson goes up, comes down with the hoop and the horn, and she'll head to the line and try to complete a 3-point play.
Great pass. I think she went up really strong with that, and she was going to make that basket as soon as she got the ball.
Remember, Thompson last season missed the first chunk of the year coming back from an injury.
She's very strong, and I think she's going to be a great addition to the Broncos this year. She brings a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, she came in and brought that athleticism boost, and when she came, the team really took off. Remember, a slow start in the non-conference, but then started winning a lot of close games at that stretch run of Mountain West play. A foul on the baseline. That's Eskelson drawing the contact. Excuse me, they call that a jump ball, no foul. Possession arrow, though, keeps it with Weber State. Boise State has scored 18 of the game's last 20 points. Narrow defending baseline on a bounce pass that hits the baseline and before it gets to Taylor.
That was a great defensive stop. Everyone was right there in their spots and where they're supposed to be and ready to help if needed.
Just take a look at this Boise State team, who's on the floor, and a lot of length. Their arms extended on defense. They were taking up a lot of ground.
I'd be curious to see if all of them have their hands up at the same time. I don't think you can really see the floor. So I think that's one area to improve on is get your hands up. Take that side away from them.
Narrow puts it on a platter for Thompson, and a timeout called by Weber State. With a minute 53 to go in the first. Right now, it's all Boise State, 20-4. Narrow executing the pass perfectly for Thompson.
Showing her athleticism, just elevating over her defensive player and scoring.
Now, we talked about one of the strengths for Boise State on the defensive side is the length. And I think a lot of that stems from the versatility that Mary Kay Narrow allows you to do lineup-wise. We're talking about a player who can play the lead guard, point guard spot, who stands at 5'11", and can defend really anybody on the floor.
Yep, and then she can easily slide over to a guard if anyone else is in that point and easily excel there as well. So I think she's just doing all the things, doing all the little things.
Weber State from the Big Sky, first-year coach Gentile Jackson. See what they have out of the stop action. Eskelson in the paint, not the way. That Boise State length defensively again forces a turnover. Christensen trails, thought about a pass, gets it back.
She wanted Tatum to post up down low.
Instead, Tatum will fire from three. Too strong. Christensen on the board.
Nice.
Skies up to lay it in.
Nice hands, great rebound.
Boise State has scored 9 straight, really gone back. It was Weber State 2, Boise State nothing. 22-2 since. What a quarter on both ends for the Broncos. Matthews for 3, puts an end to the run. Jaden Matthews. She was 5th in the Big Sky in rebounding a year ago. Bays halfway down on the 3. Another O-board for Boise State. Christensen fadeaway off the front rim. About a second and a half separate the two clocks. So Weber State can't hold for 1. See if they do. Look to be aggressive, at least early in the shot clock. Eskelson fires. Adamson into the paint. Scoop layup. Gets the roll.
That was a tough shot.
5 seconds left first quarter. Narrow finds Bays. She takes the 3.
There it
Connects.
is.
That's how the first quarter ends. With a Danny Bays 3. Easily before the horn, Bays holds the gooseneck. Broncos dominance. Back at ExtraMile Arena to start the second. What an opening quarter for Boise State. They shot 56%. When they did miss, they had 5 offensive rebounds. Up 25-9, but give it away to start the second quarter with a Laura Taylor steal. Taylor goes coast to coast, underside of the rim on the layup. And then a crash on the O-board and a foul called. Like Kyle Lassane came crashing in. Yeah, Kyle Lassane is called.
Great way. Good job, Maya, of being in the way, making that layup a little difficult.
So what were your impressions from the first quarter for Boise State?
We're not afraid to shoot it, even if we miss, which is a good thing. Shooters always shoot, so you got to keep shooting. And I think that we have an opportunity. That's tough. We have an opportunity to get to the basket and get to the line.
Said it was tough. It's tough when you're LD a lot bumping into a defender like that. That'll be a moving screen. That's a physical contact with a lot. You could see on the replay there. She thought she was set.
Yeah, that's not on her. I think that's got to come to the guard and waiting for that screen to come, and then you got to get off the screen. But that's not Lilat's fault, in my eyes.
Tip pass is a steal. Abby Muse, couple of dribbles to the deck, can't make the layup. That's not her game. Open court transition offense.
At least she wasn't afraid to do it.
Lilat cleans up the mess. 27-9. Step back, contested 3. Taylor, yes, man.
Can't stop that one. That was a good contest and everything.
Third 3 of the year and game number 3 of the season for Weber State for Laura Taylor. Spinning, turning, pivoting. Tough shot off the back of the rim from Lavrovich. Broncos get another chance. Here's a 3 lined up. It's perfect. Maya Hansen.
Threes are easy when you're set.
Team best 42% from 3 a year ago. Lassane shows off the handles. Picks up the dribble after drawing the switch. Quick first step on the drive for Taylor. Ooh. A collision down low, and that's going to be an offensive foul.
She was outside of the key, or the arc. Is it the arc? She was outside the arc. Great charge. Way to be there.
Excellent positioning by Bays. And that restricted area, I know is the term at the next level for it.
Yes.
Off-ball whistle. Darren Hickok, her first foul. Already the 3rd on Weber State's. Boise State team preseason pick number 4 in the Mountain West. the only team in the conference to return all 5 starters. Only one newcomer to the roster. Continuity, certainly the offseason theme.
Shoot it.
She does. Off to the left is Hansen.
She heard me.
That ball fake faked out a couple and created the space. I feel like Coach Fresno had to tell you to shoot it a couple of times back in the day.
Yes, there was a point in my career where I had to shoot the ball at least, I think it was 10 times, otherwise everyone was running. I don't think that happens a lot.
So wait, as we take a look at this foul of Boise State. So Shay, you were saying that when you were a player, if you didn't shoot it 10 times, the rest of the team is running.
Yes. I shot it 10 times, so no one ever had to run. But there was that out there, yes.
Now, was there any pressure from your teammates after that?
Yes, there was. I'd come out, and Carrie would tell me how many shots I've taken that so far. And then I think I would have Britt or someone else in my ear saying, shoot the ball. Just go shoot it. Just throw it up. Who cares? Shoot the ball.
Well, Sierra Davis shot the ball last possession for Weber State, drilled the 3, and then Boise State turns it over on the other end.
Just a simple miscommunication. She thought she was coming off for the handoff, and ball rolled out.
Taylor, what a backdoor pass. Excellent cut by Hickok. Set up by Taylor, and that's the best executed half-court possession that Weber State has had so far. Face up for Thompson off the front of the rim. Weber State leading this quarter, now 10-5. On the inside, another bucket.
That's tough to defend, but you got to lean back and try to make a play on the ball.
Sierra Davis in a timeout called by Boise State. So here come the Wildcats. They've scored the game's last 7. Natalie Pasco getting her second straight start. Remember, we have been saying that Boise State returning all 5 starters from last year. Pasco technically not one of those starters. Danny Bays was the starter at that guard wing position for most of the season. But Natalie Pasco has been in the starting lineup for the first couple of games.
That was the play that we were talking about earlier where she comes off short corner. Their spacing was a little bit off, so the screens weren't successful. But normally if their spacing's off and they're waiting for the screens, it's easy.
Well, the initial play didn't work, but Muse hits the jumper anyway. So how about Lalott and Muse each having a basket outside of the paint so far for Boise State in the first half?
They're just creating plays for one another. If they're shooting outside the key, they're just opening it up for the other player. I think that's just going to add to their game and add to making the Broncos a little tougher to defend.
Matthews short on the 3. Pasco rips the rebound away from Hickok. Muse hit a jumper from basically that same spot last possession. Thompson steps into it. Oh, yeah! The call from KJ Mack on the PA. 3 from Double T, Tatum Thompson.
I like it. Double T.
Already 5-19, Boise State. She only made 7 threes last season. Mentioned she missed the first chunk of the year with an injury. Was 7 for 23 from behind the arc. Shot clock at just 5. Weber State has to hurry. Has to be Matthews. Jab step and travels. Jab step, and then the other foot started to move as well. So that's 2 steps before dribbling.
Can't do that. Nope.
So Weber State had a 7-0 run before the last time out. Boise State has bounced back. Thompson, another long ball, pops out.
It looked good. I thought it was going in. I was going to say she's feeling herself.
Jada Clark in defensive lead for Boise State, stopping the drive from Lassane. Off balance, nowhere close. Clark flips ahead. Pasco retreats back to Clark.
You notice how Tatum was the first post down? She needs to post. She needs to be aggressive and post and want the ball. She kind of just ran down there and stood on the block. So that's where she's supposed to be.
Things to improve upon. This is just game number 2.
Yeah, she can do it, though.
Of course, Boise State assistant coach Heather Sower is the one who works with the Boise State post players. Gorgeous spin in the lane. Well done for Dara Hickok.
Textbook spin right there. Looked good.
4 in the second quarter for Hickok. Pasco triggers a 3. Nothing but nets. Sophomore out of Danville, California, Natalie Pasco. Coach Bresnell told us earlier, need that scoring from Pasco this season to get to where the team wants to this year. Certainly has the ability to do it. So does Hansen on the wing. There's the post up. Muse, step through move. Gets the layup to go with the left.
So strong. That was a strong post move right there. Straight to the basket.
Boise State has responded well. Now leading the quarter by 3 and leading the game by 19. Backdoor, Hickok stops it from going out of bounds. Tough in the lane. Davis just had to launch it up there, almost shot put style. Muse's outlet out of the reach of Clark.
Couldn't really see what was going on, but it looked like she was just trying to make that outlet so they could push the tempo like they want to, but it's a little too strong. Yep, exactly. Just a little too strong on the pass, and Clark was just waiting for the ball instead of running with it.
It's also 3 Broncos waiting for the ball at the scorer's table as they were ready to come into the game.
Maybe she thought she was passing to one of them instead.
Battle in the post. Davis had great positioning, and that yields the foul called against Boise State. Abby Muse's second foul.
Looks like just holding her hip while trying to come around. That's where the foul was called.
So Muse heads out. One of the smaller lineups that you'll see with Boise State, with looks like Alyssa Christensen, the nominal center in this 5. Tatum Thompson is the other forward. Block at 7. Ball fake. Adamson. 5 to shoot. Fadeaway. Davis just grazed the rim. In the corner, Bays waiting for it. Gets it and is pure on the 3.
Pushing the ball, getting to your spots, you're going to be open.
She was camped out there for a couple of seconds. Was waiting for it.
I saw her before MK saw her.
Rare to have vision before Mary Kay Narrow. Has great eyes, always looking up the floor. In and out for Matthews. Hansen playing the point guard role. 5 out set. Again, this small ball lineup for Boise State. All these players on the floor are comfortable shooting. Hansen looking down low, instead flips back high. Shot clock at 5. Narrow with the right hand, left side, halfway down. Gets the rebound herself.
Nice.
On the other side. Hansen thought about the 3. Coach Fresnel yelled something from the sideline.
She knows if she would have took that shot, she would have got yelled at. So she heard him say something. She's like, better not.
And Coach Fresnel had chuckled about it. Clock down to 2. Cross court. Bays gets it off. Ooh. Oh, it's halfway down. Rebound out of bounds, and Boise State will keep possession with 43 ticks. I like this lineup, Shay.
They're fun.
You have Bays, Clark now, who just came in for Hansen. But Thompson, Christensen, and Narrow, those are all players who can, do the thing, dribble, pass, and shoot. All skilled players on the floor.
Absolutely. You have to play them honestly. You don't know if they're going to shoot it, if they're going to drive it, so you got to play really good defense to stop them. But they clearly can't be stopped.
And at least in this matchup, not sacrificing rebounding, getting a couple of O-boards. Narrow, step back for three, way off left. Another board, the smallest on the floor. Jada Clark, how did she do it?
She snuck in there. I don't know where she came from.
She's all of 5'4", the junior from Richland, Washington. Of course, she has connections to a Bronco era of the past. Familiar with the Hodgins family. Brady Hodgins, championship guard for Boise State. Reverse layup with a couple of seconds left. That doesn't go from Adamson. And a strong finish to the first half for Boise State. 45-21, they lead it at halftime. And how about this from Bays in the corner? That's perfection.
Good looking shot. It's going to drain it every time when she's open.
ExtraMile Arena for Boise State women's basketball game number 2. And just like game 1, Boise State rolling 45-21. They have the halftime lead over Weber State. Along with Shay Shaw, a former Boise State All-Conference standout. My name is Chris Lewis as we take a look at the halftime stats. And that's just a lot of numbers you like to see for the blue and orange.
Double digits, rebounds. That's a low number for turnovers. They're doing the little things that Coach P likes to see. Shooting
above 50%, 43% from distance. Haven't missed a free throw. And that three-point and free throw percentage over the last couple of years, you know, those have been numbers that Boise State wants to get better. And so far in the early part of the season, they have done just that. Weber State, meanwhile, trying to get it going. They are undersized in this matchup. They're seeing it on the glass, taking it even more in depth, 23-9 on rebounds. Weber State has 7 defensive rebounds. Boise State has 10 offensive rebounds. So on misses for Boise State, much more likely that the Broncos are getting the offensive rebound than Weber State's clearing the boards.
I think that's the height coming in, yes, and the ball just being where we want it to be. They're doing a great job.
So Boise State doing a lot of things well. They lead it at halftime, 45-21. More from ExtraMile Arena coming up next. Boise State looking to complete the early season sweep of non-conference opponents. Already got the win against the College of Idaho last Monday and trying to make it another Monday win against Weber State. So far, so good. 45-21, they have the lead. Abby Muse got it going early with their interior presence.
She's a big, tall guard. You can throw it up to her, and she's going to go get it. And if she doesn't go get it, she's going to make a strong post move down low and use her size to her advantage and get easy buckets.
How about that? That was what I was impressed with. Foot on the line, taking a jumper.
I feel like she's got a yellow light from Coach P, and that's why her foot was on the line.
Yellow light, not quite green yet. Make a couple more of those.
Yep.
Good change the light to green. I know somebody who does have a green light.
Danny has the green light. She's going to let it go whenever she can, and I think Coach wants her to.
Position well on the wing, running in transition. That one ended the first quarter. She kept it up in the second.
Just a good-looking shot. Her feet are set, and she's ready, and she's just gonna drain them when she can.
Great three-point shooter, the sophomore from Brisbane, Australia. A couple of the Broncos who have been a part of building this 45-21 lead. Step aside and return with more from halftime at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State by 24. Halftime at ExtraMile Arena. Boise State looking to go to 2-0 early in the season. Have a 45-21 lead over Weber State. It is the 47th meeting head-to-head between these teams. Boise State facing a team from the Big Sky Conference. Take a look at what they have remaining on the non-conference schedule. As always with Coach Bresnell, you have your mix of teams from out west, the Big Sky, West Coast Conference. A couple of ones, Shay, that catch my eye. All right, so this one against Weber State, you have Pepperdine, which is always a competitive matchup. You have a game in Vegas against Rutgers, which will be just interesting because Boise State and Rutgers, they don't play each other really in any sport.
Nope, never. I don't even know. So I think that'll be an interesting matchup. They're going to be probably one of our tougher competitions in preseason, and it'll be a big tell on how our season could go.
Rutgers, in my formative years of being a fan of women's basketball, Coach C. Vivian Stringer, they were a dominant team for a while. Now, for Weber State, this is one of the most interesting, unique schedules that I've seen. They start the year with 7 straight games on the road.
That's not usual. That's very, very unusual, and that's, I would say, very tough. Traveling and playing all those games away is not easy. So I think they're setting themselves up potentially pretty well for their home games.
Yeah, Gentile Jackson, first-year coach, giving her team a test in the non-conference with a difficult schedule. A lot of, again, road games in the state of Utah, but still tough for a young team that's looking to grow. We're looking forward to the second half. Boise State leads. Second half set to begin. And the first half for Boise State, strong again, which makes it 3 straight strong halves to start the 2023-2024 campaign. Boise State preseason number 4 in the Mountain West, getting a test against Weber State from the Big Sky. This is Weber State's 3rd of 7 straight games on the road to begin the year.
Tough road ahead of them.
Quite literally. Darren Hickok gets the ball for Weber State to start half 2. And zooms to the lane. Abby Muse says, no, not today.
Great strong take, but even better block by Abby.
The all-time leader in blocks at Boise State gets another one. Lalott off the pick and roll. Too strong on the layup. And Abby Muse defensively. What allows her to be such a great shot blocker? I mean, she's tall, but she's not outlier tall.
I think her arms are outlier tall. Her arms are very long. So while she's tall, she's also got 3 feet in her arms.
She used her arms to deflect another pass. One of the things that Coach Presnell told me, a jumper by Maya Hanton on the baseline, is that you think Abby Muse is tall and long, but she's actually the shortest in her family.
Really?
Yes, a couple of siblings. One of them is now a freshman at UCLA, stands at 6'4". Again, those long arms as well.
Wow.
Younger sister.
Younger sister?
Yeah, UCLA.
I mean, I can't talk. I think my younger sister's going to be taller than me, too.
So the Muse towers. And she's the shortest. There's Muse getting the foul drawn. Sierra Davis. A whistle. They're going to get an offensive foul. Yes, too much off the DHO. Pasco running in to the defender.
Didn't seem intentional, just literally ran into her and knocked her down. Didn't even seem like she was really trying to set a screen.
Hickok, that time goes right at the shot blocker. That's what they teach you. Get the body into the shot blocker, and the 3rd foul on Muse.
You get the body and the hands come down, and that's the foul.
So Darren Hickok, who's a senior out of Portland, to the line. With the 3 fouls, Muse heads out, and Christensen is in. Preseason All Big Sky, Darren Hickok, 3 times recognized All Conference. She was 3rd in the league in scoring last year at 16 points per game. Ins and outs the 2nd.
She's a tough little player, and she's aggressive. That's why she's getting those preseason and postseason call-outs.
Christensen wants the block. Fade away, Jay, and a foul. Junior out of New Plymouth, Idaho, with a pretty move.
Pretty strong move, too.
Jaden Matthews' first foul. For the 3-point play. 5 points, 6 rebounds for Christensen. Yeah, in an era that we're in, transfer portal, movement, to say the only newcomer on a team is just wild, but Christensen is the only newcomer to this Boise State team. Tips the rebound to Hansen.
There is no other words other than wild. I think that's very rare in this new age of this transfer portal.
I mean, how many teams throughout not just women's basketball, but men's college basketball? Oh, my, what a scoop. Maya Hansen. That could be one of the top plays of the week for Boise State. Incredible.
Scooped
finish.
It right under him. That was beautiful. It really was.
But they transferred that from her hand to the bucket. But it's not just, we mentioned not adding any players to the transfer portal. Really, the last couple of years, Boise State hasn't lost anybody
Correct.
to the transfer portal.
I think that's what makes it even crazier. No one's left, and they've only brought in one new player. So, what? That doesn't happen. That's incredible. That's going to be an incredible story for them.
I feel like the Boise State coaching staff could write a book on that. College coaches throughout, not just basketball, all sports would read it.
How to get your players to not transfer.
Yes. Bestseller, New York Times.
Some of these coaches could probably use a good read.
Scoop on the other end. That's a nice move. Rita Vetta. But Boise State is banking on that continuity, making a big difference to be a contender in the Mountain West. Hansen, a rainbow three, in and out. Meanwhile, for Weber State, it's a bit of the opposite with a new staff. Gentile Jackson is the 7th coach in Weber State program history. Meanwhile, Coach Gordy Presnell is the longest tenured coach in the Mountain West. Darren Hickok on the baseline. Count the basket.
Really? The longest in the Mountain West?
Yes.
Men's and women's or just women's?
It was just women's. I'm trying to think now, top of my head, men's. I don't think anybody in the league has been there 19 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's what's going through my mind with it. And yeah, I think Leon Rice is the longest tenured in the Mountain West for men's basketball. So,
go Boise State.
Yeah, so Boise State has the longest tenured in both. That is true. I remember doing a few Boise State men's games over the years. So yeah, Leon is the longest tenured in the Mountain West men, and Gordy Presnell is for women. Which is crazy. Three-pointer, Mary Kay Narrow, her second triple of the ball game.
That was deep. She was off the line. Felt confident about it and let it fly.
Hayes reaches in. Hickok keeps it. Step through move. Teardrop off to the right. Great offensive rebound by Amelia Reda Vetta, and she gets another one to go.
Weber State's coming out with a different energy, and Broncos got to respond on the defensive end and get stops.
Reda Vetta and Davis provide the size for the Wildcats to complete a three-point play, and does. It's not just the head coach for Boise State, 19th year. Assistant coach Heather Sower in her 22nd year as an assistant on the Bronco bench. Tatum Thompson took the bump. Got the layup to go.
Athleticism. I'm just going to keep saying it because I would not have made that shot.
She is an athlete. Crossover dribble. Bays falls. Trip to the deck. Matthews rolls, spins, fades. Front of the rim. Reda Vetta, another offensive rebound. Fakes the pass. Back out to Taylor, who takes the three. Too strong. Tip to Hickok. She muscles inside. That won't fall. And finally,
a lot of second chance opportunities Weber State's getting.
Christensen wrestled it away. Halfway through the third. Boise State still in control. Narrow draws the help. Christensen fakes, takes the easier two, in and out.
Nice shot fake, nice drive. Everything looked good. Just didn't fall.
Once again, it's that small ball lineup that we talked about in that first half with Christensen playing the center spot. But that time, it's Weber State getting the better of the matchup with Reda Veta.
We got to get stops inside. The Broncos need to, excuse me, the Broncos need to box out and get stops and lower those second chance opportunities that Weber State is getting right now.
Bays off the screen. The Australian for three, front iron. Early in the season, and you get to that time where you're extended away, you're overdue for a break. You can see the huffing and puffing a little bit more.
Everyone's a little bit fatigued already.
There's the puff to draw the break. Haven't seen the official make the call yet. I believe it's an offensive foul.
And I saw one.
Regardless, we'll sort it out up next. All right, this was the last sequence before we stepped away. We never really got a clear indication on the foul or travel or what was called.
I think
before we went to break.
Maybe a travel.
The ruling was a travel. So the 5th turnover of the game on Darren Hickok. Yeah, the officials wanted to make sure they were on the same page with the ruling, called it a travel.
Ooh.
Tatum Thompson
ran into a wall.
On a balance beam. There was like a wall in the middle of it.
Yep.
Weber State trying to set up shop on offense, and that's Bays getting her hand in there and once again causing a tie-up. Laura Taylor met the wrath of Bays. Possession arrow gives it to Boise State. Thompson, Narrow, Hanson, Christensen, and Bays, the Boise State 5 on the floor. Hanson pump fakes the 3. Head down on the drive, left-handed floater, front iron, gets her own rebound. Christensen screens, Hanson weaves, finds Bays, corner 3, yes ma'am.
Drains it, feet are set, she was ready.
Danny Bays has made 3 threes in this game. She made 3 threes 7 times last year, 3 or more.
Wow. Gonna keep it going this year.
Wide dribble for Taylor, does vacuum it back, wanted to foul on Hanson.
She was just going for a ball. And way to get on the floor, even though she didn't really need to, but we love to see it.
Double team in the post, ball knocked out of bounds, 5 on the shot clock. They spent a lot of time in practice and shoot around simulating these situations, the baseline out of bounds.
Baseline out of bounds are important. You're always going to get them every game. So if you have a few in your arsenal, it's really key to kind of some of those easy buckets. Travel.
Bounce pass. Reda Veta is blocked by Christensen. They call the foul.
Maybe got her hand a little bit, but that looked clean from my angle. Here it is. And no, she did foul her. Got her offhand, but still a good contest.
Reda Veta at the free throw line. Mentioned Danny Bays being from Australia. Same with Amelia Reda Veta. New South Wales, Australia, 4 points, 3.5 rebounds a game so far through the opening couple of contests for the Wildcats. Can't get either free throw. Up ahead, Thompson, like a receiver, goes over the top to make the catch. Fadeaway from the baseline, dances on the rim, but just dances out.
That was a great catch. Through the defense.
This Boise State defense, it's a man-to-man, at least at times, but it seems to be aggressive, too, in the passing lanes.
Yeah, they're getting out, and they're looking for those steals and trying to make the easy steal with getting their hands in the passing lanes.
Darren Hickok has 9 points. Hansen with the left. So good with that left hand. The former Gatorade Montana Player of the Year, Hansen from Billings. Hickok trying to bully on Narrow. Narrow holds her ground, but it's off of Narrow and out of bounds.
She just lost her footing on that drive. Maybe Narrow had something to do with it, but to me, it was Baze. Baze stepped in there and kind of tripped her up a little bit, but just trying to help.
Made that entry from the baseline difficult. Pasco defending. Hickok. 10 on the shot clock. It's a tough angle for Taylor.
Is it me or does Hickok look exhausted?
Might be the case. Early season. Ball grazed the front rim, so Weber State with a new 20. Hickok in the lane loses the ball. Hansen vacuums it up. Lasers ahead. Pasco with the left hand. Boise State has won the first 2 quarters and looking to close out the third. They are leading at 19-12, leading this game by 31. Shot clock, game clock, pretty much the same. Hickok, that pivot foot slid, no travel. Taylor, entry. Redavetta, turnaround, perfect before the horn. What a quarter for Redavetta. She has 11 points in the game, 9 of them in the third. But Boise State's Danny Bates has had the hot hand, and Boise State's been the hot team. Third quarter was the time for Amelia Redavetta to shine. 9 points in the quarter, 11 for the game, a team high.
She's unstoppable down low right now. The Broncos need to stop her, and I think if they stop her, they'll stop their run.
11 points, 4 rebounds in the game, including that right at the end of the quarter.
Good looking shot. She just turned around and threw it up, and it went in. Looked good too.
Weber State ball, fourth quarter underway. Weber State looking for their first win. Boise State looking to go to 2-0 over the head of Sierra Davis, the Provo product, and out of bounds. Got the play against her hometown team. Last game, Weber State took on BYU. Natalie Pasco, perfect on a corner 3.
Yeah.
There's a collision, and it's called an offensive foul.
She dipped her shoulder into her. Kind of threw her, to be honest with you. That's what it looked like.
Lindsay Lavrovich is back in for Boise State. Lavrovich at a Gig Harbor, Washington, 6 points and a career-high 7 rebounds in the opener against the College of Idaho. Elodie Lalat.
What a pass.
Maya Hansen's 5th assist. It is Elodie Lalat, her 6th point. Backdoor cut, Laura Taylor, baseline feed, does get to the hands of Hickok. Right hand, hook shot, no, says Muse, but it goes right to Adamson, and the layup is good. But Davis has met another Muse rejection. Lalat to Davis, hook shot of her own.
Keep giving it to her, feed her. She wants it.
In fact, they made the announcement in the arena during one of the most recent timeouts. Elodie Lalat, with a couple of rebounds in this game, has passed Boise State current assistant coach Heather Sower on the all-time rebound list. Lalat in this game, she has 2 boards, which makes it 512 in her Boise State career.
Wow, 512 beating Sower. I think that's a great night.
Now, if you heard, you go to the locker room with a little bit of bragging rights.
Absolutely.
This is my title now. Also, Abby Muse passed Heather Sower on the rebound list last year. Boise State steal. Tried to force it. Lavrovic still alive that time. Weber State's defense ready for it. And then a turnover on the other end as the sloppiness picking up here in the fourth. Pasco off glass and in.
Sloppiness equals exhausted. I think Weber State looks a little bit tired. They look a little exhausted, to be honest with you, and I think that shows with their turnovers.
Got the layup here against Muse. Jaden Matthews. Now, as a former player, how long does it take before you really feel like you're at, as they say, mid-season form from the conditioning standpoint?
I think that depends on how hard you are actually running up and down the court in the games. That if you're just going through the motions and running up and down, it's going to take you till at least mid-season to get there. But if you're actually running hard and intentionally playing hard, it's going to come a lot faster.
Regardless, we're just in for Boise State game number 2, Weber State game number 3, so it takes a little bit to get to that form. And then, of course, you mix in other factors such as altitude in this league, the Mountain West, and in the Big Sky Conference as well.
Altitude has, no matter what kind of shape you're in, you're going to be affected.
You remember your first time playing in Laramie?
Yes, I do. It was not great. It was hard. It hurt. Breathing hurts. Like you think you're in really good condition, like the best condition of your life, and then you go play in that elevation, and it's just painful.
When did it hit? Was it like that first media timeout where it's like, oh my goodness?
No, it was in practice.
Okay.
It was in practice. The night before it hurt. So you don't get used to it either.
It's the reason why Wyoming typically has a great home record in all sports.
Same with Air Force. It's tough.
Colorado Springs. Whistle on the drive from Lavrovic. Second on Laura Taylor. Each team, 2 team fouls here in the fourth. Coach Presnell, 19th year. I guess this is the 11th year that I've been around for. Had 2 full classes before I got here.
Did you come in when I came in?
No, it was before that.
I've been here.
My first year, as if people who are listening care about my first year.
I care.
Over the head and out of bounds, the wayward pass. Another turnover, that time on Kaya Lassane. But the Brooke Pawakoa, Brittany Pawakoa, Jai Rodriguez, their first year. They were freshmen.
Okay, so I came the next year.
Yes.
So you'd only been there. My first year was your second year. I knew it was up there.
It was close.
It was close.
Then they quickly started bringing in championships when you arrived.
Yes.
Ball.
We like to win.
That's a standard that still this team wants to achieve, to be a team at the top of the Mountain West. Now, this conference has had some pretty good teams. UNLV over the last couple of years has been the team to beat. Colorado State as well. McKenna Hofschild is back for, it seems like, her 11th year at Colorado State. Now, she's a fantastic player.
Yes,
The little guard for Colorado State. Preseason player of the year. Lavelle feeds a lane. What a scoop in traffic for Taylor. 73-42. Boise State still in control. Along with former All-Mountain West standout Shay Shaw, Chris Lewis here on the Mountain West Network. A little extracurricular there in the wrestling match between Muse and Taylor. Here's another look.
Can't see it. Oh, here we go. Zero's freaking out for no reason, I'll be honest. She just threw her hands up like she got elbowed in the back and trying to get a call that's not there.
Well, they'll take a look at it. Each team goes to their benches, and I think the officials are likely to head to the scorer's table. We get to look at it again for sure.
Here's a better angle. She literally didn't even touch her. I think she like went to maybe do a little something to her, but she wasn't where she was supposed to be, and then Taylor kind of tried to throw something more into it.
So this will be a stoppage as well. So with 5:31 to go in the fourth, Boise State 73, Weber State 42. We'll sort everything out when you return. Still looking. You can see from the great angle from our crew exactly what they're looking at. This is what they're looking at. After the whistle, and Muse, who grabbed the ball, those elbows and arms, limbs. We talked about her long arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So has some of the longest arms you'll see. Did those arms make a connection with Laura Taylor? Taylor's like, what's going on here?
I hope they come tell us, but they probably won't. Because they're already set up.
They're ready to go.
No call.
Experienced officiating crew. Michelle Murray, Lisa Jones, Julie Cromanhook. But Boise State got the ball, didn't value possession, but neither did Weber State. Travel on Emery Lavelle right here. I was a travel, and if she didn't travel, probably could have been a backcourt violation. If she took that full step, she would have been in the front court throwing it to the backcourt.
Yep.
Lalott hunting for some buckets, instead turns it over. Coaches talk about these last 5 minutes in games that are this wide on the scoreboard, not letting up for the leading team. Another gorgeous scoop by Taylor. That's the second time that she's done that.
She's perfected the scoop.
Lalott directing Burgess on where to pass the basketball after the clear pass from the post. Hey, rotate it back around. Lalott high post. Low post is Muse. Bobbles and throws it away. So this is where coaches start to pull their hair out. Hey, you have a lead, but that doesn't mean it's okay to start turning over the ball. Taylor, another three, in and out.
This is where they need to start focusing on the little things. The Broncos had some bad turnovers, but they need to really keen in and focus on those little things.
So a couple of more substitutions made for Boise State. They bring out Lalott, they bring out Muse, and in fact, they'll bring everybody to the bench because it is a timeout. Timeout called, 4:23 left. Boise State trying to put on the finishing touches. Alyssa Christensen, excuse me, not Abby Muse. Alyssa Christensen has continued to show why she's a valued add to the team.
She's doing the little things. She's getting rebounds. She's trying to go in for steals, scoring easy buckets. Just all around great things.
And early on, it's clear that Boise State feels confident playing her at both the big spots, the 4 and the 5. Christensen misses the 3 there. So as, in a way, the first versatile big off the bench, that provides a lot of lineup flexibility from Coach Presnell.
Yeah, she can come in and do great things at the trail post because she almost plays like a guard, but then she can make the easy switch and play down low. And she's got the height to back her up, too.
Foul on another drive will send Para to the line. But that trail post position, such a fundamental part of what the Boise State coaching staff wants to have. whether it's Valerie McGuire or somebody named Shay Shaw, who played quite a bit for Boise State, or Lexi Dare before.
Kenzie Poteet.
Yes.
You can take my name out there. I don't need to be on that list.
I feel like of that group, you have a lot of hardware to measure up. It was a pretty successful lineup when you were in it.
I guess I can't discount that.
Jada Clark comes crashing towards us. Tips the pass, but it was last touched by Boise State. And any player on the floor is coming towards us to knock us over. At least, you know, it's this 5'4" guard instead of, let's say, the 6'3" big.
Yeah, the 5. She moved the table, but if Christensen was coming at us, I think I would have been a little more worried.
Great defense by Burgess. Crossover dribble Parra, trying to get space. Shot clock at 10. Parra floats to the corner. Adamson takes the 3. Air ball. Battle for the rebound. Stepping out of bounds was Weber State. So it's Boise State possession. Did you take many charges as a player?
I did. I don't know about many, but I did take a few. I remember I took a really big one in one of the Mountain West tournaments. I think it was my freshman year. And there's a picture somewhere out there of me just flexing.
You wanted to let them know.
I did. I was super hyped because it was like a key turning point in the game, and I was excited. Everyone was excited.
That is one of those plays that brings out the emotion. The bench gets hyped.
It's a momentum changer, or can be a momentum changer.
Cross the lane pass from Lavelle off the hands of Adamson. Turnovers for both teams really piling up here in the fourth quarter. Boise State makes a couple of more moves. Sydney McQuieter comes in, BC transfer. Mackenzie Narrow, the younger sister of Mary Kay, is also in, catches the pass here. And then Allie Heckman getting her first run. Burgess off a screen, elbow J, front iron.
It was a good pull-up shot, just a little short.
You know, you've been a starting player who's been taken out of the game late with the team having a lead with some of the little used players in. How valuable and important is it for the starters to be still engaged in the game and encouraging the little used players who do check in?
Oh, it's very valuable. I think that it gives these players the confidence that they need, and just showing the excitement on the bench and just being there for them. And at the end of the day, you're one team. And that's what, on the bench, you got to show that as well.
Burgess steps into it, cashes out.
There they are, going hard on the bench, cheering them on. We love to see it.
Caitlin Burgess, couple-year Bronco, redshirt senior. 94 seconds left between this and a 2-0 start for Boise State. There's a bump and a foul. Rita Vetta, who had an incredible third quarter. She had 9 of her 11 points in that third frame at the free throw line to try to get 12 and 13.
They couldn't stop her in the third quarter, and they're doing a better job in the fourth, but she really stood out in the third quarter.
So first free throw is off. Coach Presnell, you never know by his face unless it's the fourth quarter, 2 seconds left of the conference championship game, whether his team is up or down. He's tough to read.
I don't think he's that tough to read. I think I know his faces pretty well.
Wow,
but
okay.
I think that's also 4 years of lots of practices and learning what the actual facial expressions mean. I got a pretty good read on him, but
right.
I won't share my secrets.
So you need to create a guide for the rest of Boise State fans out there.
No.
'Cause they're still looking to figure it out. Weber State will continue their road-heavy travels. Their next game is against another Mountain West team in state for them at Utah State. So they'll go from Ogden to Logan. A foul as the shot clock was winding down in Boise State, and it's now in the bonus. I guess in the penalty, I should say. Weber State is in the bonus. So a couple of more free throws coming up. Ashton Adamson. First free throw goes. 45.7 seconds left. 76-47. If Boise State can get one more three look here. With this lineup, they had Burgess hit a three. Couple of possessions back. See if they set up a three look. Here it is in the air, but it's short from Heckman.
I thought it was going to go in. It just was a little short.
Just grazed the front rim. Burgess gets the steal there. Shot clock turned off. Let's see if Boise State will dribble it out. No, instead they give it away. But Weber State, hey, they're a team that's down. Why not? Go for it. Knocked away. McQuieter vacuums it in, and that'll do it. Boise State moves to 2-0. Another excellent performance at home. 76-47 is your final. Coach Gordy Prestel, another victory, over 700 wins in his career, and he's closing in on 200 wins at home for Boise State. Look at the final numbers from this one. Just a shade under 50% shooting, though 40% from three. Did not miss a free throw, only got to the line 4 times. Weber State did a much better job in the second half rebounding.
Yes, they did. They did a better job of stopping Boise State's rebounds, but they also did a better job of getting their own rebounds and getting their second chance opportunities.
Turnovers high for both teams, especially in the fourth quarter. 76-47 is your final. Boise State is 2-0. We'll be joined by a couple of members of Boise State coming up. I believe Maya Hansen will be the first to join us. Yeah, we're working on getting Maya Hansen over. Eventually, she'll get her way. Yes, indeed. So, pleasure to have you courtside. Maya Hansen, part of this Boise State win. First of all, congratulations on moving to 2-0. What's it like early in the season just getting these games underway?
Yeah, I mean, it's helpful getting these games underway. I mean, you never know what it's like at the beginning of the season. I mean, it's nice knowing we have a pretty similar team this year, but it's nice to finally step on the court. I mean, we've been practicing since summer, and it's finally here, so you can tell we're eager to get on the court and get playing.
That was my next question. It is a similar team. It's pretty much the exact same team, really, one newcomer added to the mix. So that continuity, how does that help for this season?
Oh, it's special. It's definitely special. Nice. I mean, you could tell last year was a building year. We had some new faces, new team members, so it was more so just trying to get a feel for each other, feel that chemistry, and it was nice knowing we could come right on the court this year and just be ready. We could pick up from where we left off last year and get rolling.
Speaking of chemistry, how is your guys' chemistry looking this year? I mean, on the court it looks pretty good, but how's the locker room chemistry?
It's been great. It's been a fun group, that's for sure. I mean, we've been hanging out all the time. We always are, and it's always a blast with around us.
All right, so what are some of the things as this team approaches really the heart of the non-conference that you're looking to improve upon to put the team in the best position?
Yeah, well, you can see last year we kind of struggled non-conference beginning of season, so we put that as one of our main goals right here is to come out and play. It doesn't matter if it's a conference game, non-conference game, any level we're playing, we're coming out with the same integrity, same force that we come out in every game and play hard.
How's it different for you going through this for the second time now?
Yeah, it's fun. It's nice knowing having last year under my belt. Being a freshman, it's definitely different coming into a college career. So I'm glad to have that under belt, that there's no new surprises. I've been through a lot of adversity through injuries and playing and stuff, so I'm ready for anything.
Well, there you go. We're ready for a great year. 11 points in this game, 2-0. Sounds good.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
That's Maya Hansen for Boise State. 11 points in this game. One of 4 players in double figures. So he had 7 assists and 4 rebounds as well. And we'll keep it going. Joined by Tatum Thompson. joining us courtside after a Boise State win over Weber State. So I want to ask about what Shea said during the game. Athleticism, athleticism. That's what you bring to this team. Talk about that punch you provide with that athletic ability off the bench.
I think I need to get some more O boards. If you guys think I'm that athletic, I don't think I have one O board.
I think you could always get more O boards. That's just all around thing. How do you think that your athleticism can translate on the defensive end, just outside of rebounds?
Yeah, on the defensive end, I think I can be in help and just be all around, going for steals, getting my hand in the lanes.
Now, you mentioned the off-the-bench spark that you're providing. Now, last year you had to wait a little bit. That injury at the beginning of the year, had to work your way in. How is it different this year, being ready to go and healthy at the start of the season?
Well, I'd like to thank Trista. She was over on the bench with me. She couldn't play tonight, but she was telling me everything I was needing to do, and I just came out and tried to help out.
All right, so again, same question I asked Maya at the end. What are some of the things that you're looking to work on to put the team in the best position to really make a run in the non-conference?
Personally, I want to play faster. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little but I just need to be confident and just get the ball moving.
All right, Tatum Thompson, another great game. Appreciate it, and best of luck going forward.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
There we go. So Maya Hansen, Tatum Thompson, two Boise State players who had excellent games in double figures. Again, they were 2 of the 4 who scored 10 or more. Thompson finishes 10 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, made a free throw, and also added in a rebound. So Boise State gets the win. They are 2-0, and the Broncos will look to keep this going as the non-conference starts to get a little bit more difficult. Shea, your final thoughts from this one?
I think this was a great game. I think they improved upon what they were kind of lacking in last game. They hit a little more shots. They got way more rebounds, and I think moving into this little bit of a tougher non-conference schedule, they're going to have to keep that going and keep those boards high and just keep looking for opportunities to score.
That's the next one for Boise State against UC Riverside Wednesday, a couple of days from now. Shea, it was a pleasure to work with you. For our entire crew, my name is Chris Lewis saying good night from Extra Mile.